Okay, so let's go ahead and solve this equation. This is 2 over x plus 3 over 4x is equal to 5. So we're going to be solving this equation here in just 1 second. But this type of equation, if you look at it, what's interesting about this is that we have the variable, the variables here. Okay, these terms are down in the denominator. Okay, so this would be in comparison to an equation like, say, 2x plus 3/4 x is equal to 5. Okay, this is a basic linear equation. Right? And this type of equation is a rational equation, rational. All right. Now, if I asked 10,000 people out there, what does the word rational mean? And there was no, don't go to your phone and be like, look it up real quick. Let me just ask you, what does the word rational mean in mathematics? You see this word all the time. Now, if you get this answer even closely right, if I was your math teacher, would give you A plus 100%. And I'd be like, you've been paying attention. You literally don't have to take the rest of the math class. Go enjoy the year. Okay? Because a lot of students are like, I don't remember. I know I heard that term over and over again, but it's important to remember these math terms, okay? Like functions, what's a function or what's a polynomial? We throw these terms around, but they really have precise meaning. So this is a rational equation. And so what do you think? Do you know what the word rational means? Well, if you said basically anything along the line of a fraction or fractional, then you are awesome, okay? But if you didn't get that right, believe me, most people couldn't. I know I couldn't way back in the good old days. Of course, I teach math. So obviously these terms are always fresh in my brain, but we do need to know these descriptions. So this is a rational equation. It's a fractional equation, and a rational number, if you recall, are numbers that we can express as fractions where the numerator and denominator are integers, okay? So a number like, say, the square root of 2, that's an irrational number because we cannot express this number, okay, as a fraction of two integers, right? It's impossible, so it's irrational, right? Same thing with pi. But other numbers that we can, which would include integers themselves, are rational numbers. Very, very important to understand these number descriptions, the number systems, and everything else. So rational equations, that's what we got going on here. And we don't call these fractions. Anytime you have a fraction that has a variable in it, they're referred to as rational expressions, not a fraction. Okay, so anyways, that is the topic of this video. And we're going to get into how to solve this equation here. And I'm going to teach you two ways to solve it. And this is a very, very important topic in algebra. Okay, you got to know how to solve these type of equations. Remember, in algebra, you got all sorts of different type of equations you're going to have to be able to tackle. So solving rational equations is one of those ones for sure you're going to need to know how to master. Okay, so we're going to get to this in just 1 second, but first let me quickly introduce myself. My name is John. I'm the founder of TabletClass Math, and you guessed it, I'm also a middle and high school math teacher, and over several years, I've constructed what I like to believe is one of the best online math help programs there is. Of course, I'll let you be the judge of that. If you're interested, you can find my math help program by following the link in the description of this video. So if you need to take a full comprehensive online math course, I offer several. Or if you need assistance in the class that you're taking right now, my math help program can help you out as well. I have full comprehensive lessons, and I teach you how to solve thousands and thousands of problems, literally the most common problems in middle and high school math and even basic college math. Now, one thing before we get into this problem, if you are a student, and I'm sure you are, I'm assuming you are if you're watching this video, I can't stress the importance of taking math notes. Over decades of teaching math, my golden rule is those students who take the best math notes almost always have the best math grades, and the reverse is true. Those students who don't take notes, take sloppy notes, or maybe they let their best friend take their notes and then they steal their notes to prepare for the test because they're too busy looking at their phone. You get the idea. You don't want to be that person. I was that person. And guess what? You're going to pay a price for not taking notes. This is absolutely critically important to your math success. So you got to buckle down and take good notes. Now, in the meantime, you need something to study from. So I actually offer very detailed, comprehensive math notes. Those would include pre-algebra, algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2, and trigonometry. You can find links to all those notes in the description of this video as well. Okay, so here, again, we have a rational equation. Now, let's just do a quick, I'm going to say a review, but just an overview of the type of equations that you're going to know how to solve in algebra. So here, anything with an equal symbol in it, right? We have something equaling to something else as an equation. So you have linear equations, all right? Things that are like this: 2x plus 1 equals 7, all right? So that's when you first started learning equations, you have things like that. Then you have all kinds of stuff, like say 2x squared equals 16, right? This is a quadratic equation. Then you can have things like 2x plus y equals 6, x minus y equals 1. What type of equation is this? Well, this is a system of linear equations, a system. Okay, so again, other type of equations. Then you have things like this: 2x minus 8 equals 3. And of course, we've got this square root here, so this is a radical equation. And then you have other things here like 4 over x plus 1 over 2x is equal to 7. And this is a rational equation. This is what we're talking about in this video. Okay, and there's even other equations, right? As you study more advanced math, you have exponential equations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So anytime in mathematics you see an equal symbol, all right, you're like, oh, equal symbol, you need to determine, okay, is this a quadratic equation? Because the approach to solve this is completely different to solve this and completely different to solve this, okay? That's why you need to be focused and be taking great notes and working hard to learn this stuff. It's not just gonna, get downloaded into your brain, all right? I wish it would be that easy, but it's not. You're just gonna have to simply use good old-fashioned work, okay, to help you learn this stuff. There's just no way around it, okay? But in the end, you'll be able to have a strong foundation where you can take more advanced math and do all that kind of good stuff, like achieve your goals or whatever they might be. All right, so let's get to this equation. I'm going to teach you how to solve this equation in two ways. All right, so let's kind of separate this out. Here's our equation. Let's kind of focus over here first. Okay, we'll solve this equation using one technique, and then we'll solve this equation using another technique. Okay, so here, you need to know how to deal with fractions, okay? When we talk about rational expressions, you need to know something about fractions, okay? Like what's the lowest common denominator, how we add fractions, and if you think about it, how do we add two fractions? So if I have like 2/7 plus 1/3, well, I can't add these two fractions because the denominators are different. You got to have the same denominator in order to add two fractions. So here, if I'm looking at x and I have 4x, these are clearly not the same denominator, but how can I make these the same denominator? Well, pretty easy. I need to make this a 4x, right? All right. And so if I multiply this denominator by 4, now I have 4x and 4x. But if I multiply this denominator by 4, I'm going to multiply this numerator by 4. Okay, so I'm kind of rewriting this fraction 2x such that I have the same denominator. So that's a good route to go here. So 4x, 4 times x is 4x, 4 times 2 is 8. And of course I have 3 over 4x here. And now I can simply go ahead and just add these fractions here, or these rational expressions rather. So same denominator, okay, so now I just add the numerators. Again, I'm assuming that you know how to work with basic fractions. So 8 plus 3 is 11, and that's going to be over 4x, okay? So now we have taken this equation down to this stage. 11 over 4x is equal to 5. Now, at this stage of the game, you need to recognize that what we're really kind of dealing with here is a proportion. So the best way to solve this type of equation is to use the cross product, okay? So 4x times 5, okay, in other words, you're going this way. 4x times 5 is 20x, and 11 times 1 is 11. All right, so now by using a cross product here, okay, remember this is like a proportion, all right? I can just kind of simplify this by using the cross product. I got 20x is equal to 11, and now to solve for x, I divide both sides of the equation by 20, and I have x is equal to 11 over 20. Okay, so this is one approach you can take to solve this rational equation. Now, let's take a look at another approach here. And this one has to deal with clearing the fractions out. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to deal with these fractions. So I just want to go ahead and get rid of these fractions, rewrite this equation such it doesn't have fractions. And the way we can do that is that we can multiply this entire equation by the LCD, okay, the lowest common denominator. So this is a denominator, this is another denominator, and then 5, okay, over here is really 5 over 1. This is a denominator. So what's the lowest common denominator given x, 4x, and 1? Well, you need to know how to find the LCD of expressions where they have variables, where the denominators are variables. I actually have plenty of videos on this in my algebra playlist. You can check this out. But this is 4x, okay? So 4x is the LCD. So if you multiply your entire equation by the LCD, you'll clear out the fractions, okay? So you're like, you know what, I'm just going to get rid of the fractions right up front, and I'm going to multiply by the LCD. So let's go ahead and multiply each term, okay, of the equation by the LCD, which is, of course, 4x in this example. So 4x times 2 over x. Okay, what happens is the x's here cross cancel, so you're left with 4 times 2, so that's 8. Okay, so now we have to go ahead and multiply this 4x. All right, let me get rid of this. All right, 4x times this 3 over 4x. The 4x's cross cancel, so you're just left with 3. Okay, and then lastly, I have 4x, and I got to multiply that 4x times 5 here, and that's going to be 20x. Okay. All right, so some of this algebra is kind of bothering you. Then obviously you want to brush up on your basic equation solving, the distributive property, et cetera, But if you're with me so far, let's continue on. Okay, so now I just rewrote this equation and I got rid of the fractions. Now, by doing this, though, by multiplying both sides of the equation by a variable or something that has a variable in it, you can introduce something called extraneous roots or solutions. All right, you need to know this. Very important. Okay, meaning that just if you just think about what this word means, extraneous or extra roots means that when you go to solve this, your solution could be an extra solution. It may not be, in fact, the actual solution to the problem. So you have to solve, or you have to substitute back in this solution into the original equation to see if in fact it checks out. Okay, so this is a whole topic here, extraneous roots. You just need to know when you multiply both sides of the equation by something with a variable in it, you can introduce extraneous roots. You just never know until you go to check. But let's go ahead and continue with the problem. So we have a plus 3 equals 20x now. So a plus 3 is, of course, 11. And we have 11 over 20x. This should look a lot like this equation over here, right? 20x is equal to 11. So the left is equal to the right is equal to the left. So I'll write this as 20x is equal to 11. So to solve for x, I divide both sides of the equation by 20. And I get the same solution. But over here, because I multiply both sides of the equation by a variable, I would want to, and it's still a good measure to always substitute in your solutions into your original equation to check to see if that solution in fact works. Okay, so yes, it would be a kind of a hassle because we have a fraction within a fraction. We end up with, having complex fractions, but you would need still do this. Okay, this is not like an optional type of thing. Like, yeah, man, maybe I'll just skip this step. Nope, you don't want to do that because your teacher might just skip giving you all the points for a problem. All right, you got to know about extraneous solutions. But over here was a nice direct path to go. So we have x is equal to 11 over 20. Okay, so again, solving um, rational equations, this is a pretty easy one. There's a lot, I could have definitely made this much more complex. But before you do the more complicated problems, you got to know, the more fundamental problems. But again, in your overall, study of algebra, you got to keep all this stuff organized, right? You got to be like, okay, what's this type of thing called? Oh, that's a linear equation. What's this thing called? Oh, that's a quadratic equation. There's a whole set of methods and procedures to solve quadratic equations, just like with systems of equations, radical equations, et cetera, et cetera. And that's why, when I'm, stressing the importance of note taking, I'm just not doing this to you know, be, what's the word, to bother you. If you're watching this video, the whole idea is to get you to improve in mathematics. I'm telling you, over years and years and years and years and years of teaching math, you got to take great notes. Okay, that's like really the foundational skill. Okay, and of course, maybe you're not quite understanding your teacher. Your teacher, teaching style might be a little bit different than what you're used to or what you may prefer. I never, I don't like to say, oh, there's bad teachers. There's some teachers that some students learn better from than others. Let's just say that much. But it's up to you to take the initiative to go out there and get the help that you need to get, right? And that's why I love to share, my teaching style with you out there in YouTube land. So if this video helped you out, if you found it clear and understandable, then definitely, please consider smashing that like button. That would help me out. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing. Literally have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos of basic math to advanced math on my YouTube channel, all there for you. But if you really want my best stuff, follow those links in the description of this video. Okay, so with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. Thank you for your time and have a great day.